noticed this, but here's what you just played. We did it slowly because you're just learning how to do this, but you just played this. And probably all of you recognize that as a scale. Some of you probably recognize it as a major scale, and specifically that is a G major scale. Now, my suggestion is for the first week that you should spend a lot of time on, number one, get used to that terminology. So when you come in next week and I say first string, nobody's going, that you'll all know that this is the first string. You'll all know that this is the first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. That takes about 10 seconds to practice. And then you'll also know that this is the first fret, second fret, third fret, so that from now on when I'm talking about finding a note, I have to give you 3 pieces of information. I have to tell you what string it's on, I have to tell you what finger you're using, or if you're using a finger, and I have to tell you what fret it's going to be behind if it's a fretted note. And then just go through and practice each one of those 8 notes. Now, when you're first doing it, you may literally, let's say you're practicing an A, you might literally have to go A, third string. Oh, okay, let me get my right hand on the third string. Now you stay there, don't move. Second finger, and it's going to go behind the second fret. Okay. Are you on the third string? Yes. Are you behind the second fret? Yes. Is this my second finger? Yes. Are you on the right string? Yes. Don't be surprised if you have to go through that checklist every single time you play a note. You're just starting to play the guitar, so expect you'd rather go slow and get it right than do it. Oh, I missed it. Don't do that. Don't put pressure on yourself. You're teaching your mind and your body how to do a completely new thing. You're much better off doing it slowly correct than badly fast. When you guys can come in and play G, A, B, E, let's say that you can play every one of these notes, not fast, but you can play them. Then I give you your first melody. And ideally, what you would be able to do is, when you're playing these notes, I would also expect you to be able, if you came in next week and you did, I'd be very impressed. And I go, wow, that's great. Can you tell me the names of the notes? No. You're kind of missing something there. Note doesn't do you very much good if you can play it, but you don't know what it is. Because when I give you your first piece, I'm going to have a sequence of letters written down on a sheet of paper. In fact, here's the melody that I start students with, and I'm sure this will ring a bell. So on the sheet of paper, I'll have written G, G, D, D, E, E, D. That would be the first line right there. Now, if you don't know what those notes are, you're kind of up the creek. So make sure that when you're practicing the notes, always say the name of each note that you're doing. If you could come in and go G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and then I said, Ray, and I took your sheet and I turned it over or threw it out the window, and you could still go G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now you're ready to roll. Because when you're learning a melody, you're going to have a sheet of paper sitting in front of you that has the letters in the order that you have to play them. If you have to keep looking back at this sheet, oh, I have to play a G. Where's G? Oh, that's going to take you longer. If you know where the notes are, then all you got to do is look at the sheet of paper that I give you with the notes of the song and just G, G, oh yeah, I got D. You'll learn a lot faster. So between now and next week, that's what I'd like you to work on. When you're first learning the guitar, I do not expect you all to go home and practice 12 hours a day until your fingers bleed. If you do, I'll be somewhat impressed, although I'll question your sanity. But actually, at this point, doing just a few minutes at a time. Maybe if you sat down for 5 minutes and then said, my fingers are starting to get sore, I think I'll stop. Actually, if you all have the time, if you were able to do maybe 2 or 3 sessions a day, even if it was no more than 5 minutes, but just, grab, you got nothing to do that particular moment, say, my guitar's over there, let me try those notes again. And just get in there and do it. I would say 10 minutes a day is plenty at the beginning. Also, do it every day. I mean, if you have to take 1 day a week off, okay. But this is like learning a language. If you were trying to learn how to speak another language, if you practiced 1 day a week, I guarantee you're not going to learn that language very quickly, because everything you learned in that one session, you'll spend the rest of the week having it just disappear from your brain. Learning how to play a musical instrument it requires a lot of repetition. This is why a lot of musicians are a little bit crazy, because if you happen to be an obsessive compulsive, boy, have you got the right personality to be a musician. One thing I've told students, I've never seen a stupid musician. I mean, you have to have some sort of smarts to be able to learn how to play an instrument. So I've never seen a stupid one. I have seen some crazy ones. So you're going to have to get in there, and each day, just remember now, you're a guitarist. From this moment forward, you are now a guitarist. And I can tell you from experience that you cannot put this in a corner and say, go practice. You can, but trust me, it won't listen. And I don't care how much money you spend on it, they don't learn this stuff themselves. So each day, just go down this and say, okay, strings, this is the first string, this is the second string. Okay, good. That took about 5 seconds. And then let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that took about another 5 seconds. Frets, 1, 2, 3, that's all you need to know. Those are frets too, but don't worry, we'll get to them. And then, how did Tom tell me to hold the guitar? Okay, don't hold this lower than this, try to get this up, all right. Don't worry too much if you're not holding the guitar perfectly. Just do the best you can. And as we go forward, if I see you doing something egregiously wrong, I'll say something. Remember, that's why I became a teacher, because I like complaining. And then you just have the music sitting on a desk in front of you. If you want to invest in a music stand, go to Sam Ash or Guitar Center, pick yourself up a music stand, and walk out of there, I'm a musician now, and bring it home and just put it right. That's why we have these things. They're very, very convenient things to have. And then just put that sheet right in front of you and just read it right off there. Say, G, I'm going to need to put this on the 3rd string. Do I need a left-hand finger? No. Hallelujah, I just did a G. By the way, you notice that the 8 notes here, that the bottom note is also a G. It's this G. You can have 2 different notes have the same letter. They're the same note, just one is higher than the other. I can have a lower G. These are all Gs. This is a G. Those are all Gs. So don't be surprised that you see the same note at the beginning and at the end. In fact, every time you play a major scale, the first note that you play and the last note will be the same name. That's how you know that you got to the end of that scale. Here's a G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, I know I just played the entire scale. If I played a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Oh, I started on C and I ended on C. By the way, something interesting that I learned. Yeah, these for example are all E's. One of them's a little out of tune, but those are all E's.